Hi guys, welcome to Ricky PFC and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going through my picks for the Bundesliga beta draft, or draft beta, whichever way you want to say it. So it's the same as the La Liga one. You get 400 points or 400 gem budget to build a team to enter into the Bundesliga draft, and top 200 people in the draft win cards based on where you finish in that top 200. They can be better or worse. Really fun. I'm really enjoying these draft betas that they're bringing out, and like I said in my 2023 prediction video, if you haven't seen that, go and check it out. They would double down on the common experience, and that's exactly what they're doing right now with these draft betas. They are putting new things in for us to enjoy and to onboard new members. If you aren't a member of Sorare yet and you want to join with the link in the description. If you buy 5 limited cards at auction, the yellow cards, you will get a free card, and so will I, and we'll both be living the dream. So guys, let's get into this video. So first, let's look at the games for that game week, for the first draft beta game week. Leipzig and Bayern, both very good teams, both doing well in the league. Might be one to avoid. I have only picked one Bayern player, and I'll explain why I've picked him. But yeah, it's one to avoid. Strange one that. Again, Stuttgart and Mainz, both similar in the standings, to be honest. Stuttgart's there, Mainz is doing a little bit better, but Stuttgart are capable of beating Mainz as well. And Stuttgart are at home. Again, same situation with Bochum and Hertha Berlin. Very difficult to actually call who's going to win. So one of the fixtures that really shot out to me was Frankfurt versus Schalke. Frankfurt are doing well this season. They're currently 4th. They've scored 32 goals and conceded 24. So they've conceded more in the top 6, but they've scored a lot more than some of the other teams as well. Only Bayern who has scored more than them. So attackingly, they're very good. So I've picked some attackers for Frankfurt for that reason. Again, another tough one, Wolfsburg versus Freiburg. Freiburg, I believe, are second. Yeah, you can see they've only conceded 17 this season, but Wolfsburg are 7th, and I still think Wolfsburg are capable of beating Freiburg, and they're at home as well, which again makes it a tough one to pick. Köln versus Werder Bremen. If we look at the standings, Köln are there, Werder Bremen are there, both kind of mid-table teams. Another tough one to pick. I would probably go with Bremen on that one, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Köln beat them. Some tough fixtures, especially with Köln being at home that game week. Next one, Dortmund versus Augsburg. Now, yeah, you would think that Dortmund would definitely beat Augsburg, but Augsburg have had some shock results this season. Dortmund aren't having their best season compared to where they usually are at this point in the season. So I've kind of avoided that one as well, if I'm honest. I've avoided Dortmund players. And another one that's going to be tough is Mönchengladbach versus Bayer Leverkusen. Leverkusen aren't having as good a season this season. If you look, Leverkusen are 12th and Mönchengladbach are 8th. Mönchengladbach, I think, will get the win in this game. They're at home. They beat Dortmund recently 4-2 before the World Cup. And they've got some players who are in bang on form, and I think Mönchengladbach will get the win in this game. So for that reason, I've also chose an informed Mönchengladbach player. So if we go over to the draft, my picks for this are Marcus Thuram, Geraldo Becker of Union Berlin. If you look, Union Berlin are playing Hoffenheim. Union Berlin are having a great season. They've dropped off a little bit. They're in 5th. Hoffenheim are in 11th. But again, Hoffenheim are capable of beating them, but I think Union Berlin will probably get the win there, especially with it being at home. So I've gone with Geraldo Becker, who has scored some decent goals this season. He's doing really well. He's in form. He's getting interest from other clubs. I actually won him recently in a reward for a tier 2 in the specialist. If you want to check that video out, go to my channel and check that out. That was for game week 337. Lovely reward. Very happy to get that. Anyway, on to midfielders. So obviously I've gone with the king himself, Joshua Kimmich. Absolute beast, Joshua Kimmich. Yeah, what can I say? I mean, if we look at his scores up here, it's just disgusting. He's one of the best players on the platform. So even when they've got a tough fixture like Leipzig, he's still going to do the business. Marcus Thuram, as you see here, is having one of the best seasons. He is also getting interest from other clubs. If we go down to his club form, he was getting so many decisives. He was really popping off. Geraldo Becker, he started the season better and then he had a few quieter periods, but he is also very capable of scoring lots of goals, getting lots of assists. And against Hoffenheim, I think he's good for a goal or an assist. So that's the reason I've chosen him. My next midfielder, I've gone for someone who I really like and I've followed for quite a long time. I might have missed him actually. Is he up here? Here he is, Daichi Kamada. Again, having the season of his life. He also had a very good World Cup with Japan, who, provided some nice upsets. Look at the scores on him. Decisive, 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 decisive. Just very high greens. He's a really good attacking central, like a central attacking midfielder. And he's getting on the score sheet and on the assists a lot. And yeah, he's an outside pick. And I thought, based on his scores and how he's doing this season, 55 is quite a steal, to be honest. So let's move on to defenders. For defenders, I have gone for, there he is, Benzebaini of Mönchengladbach. If we look at his scores here, we can see I'm not sure if they're going to get a clean sheet against Leverkusen. More likely they probably won't. Leverkusen are, good for a goal, but he's a penalty taker and he is capable of getting assists as well. I think he could get a penalty. So that is what I'm counting on. He's going to be my main defender as a penalty taker, and he's got a few assists this season as well. Next defender, I've gone for someone who kind of come into the light during the World Cup, but as a Leverkusen follower, I've known about him for quite a while as well. I imagine some of you have. I might have gone a bit too far down here. What I'll do is I'll search his name in the search bar. Hincapie. So he was well known as being like a young star that's up and coming, impressed people in the World Cup playing for Ecuador. As you can see here, had some good games for Ecuador, and he, especially after his World Cup performances, will be more of a starter. So as a backup defender, I don't think he's too bad. He's very versatile. He can play at centre-back and at left-back, and I think he will play a bigger part in the team post-World Cup. So that's why I picked him, and because he was only 39 coins. And for 39, I think that's cheap. A lot of potential there. So goalkeepers, I've gone for a cheaper goalkeeper actually, and I'm surprised he's this cheap. Here he is, 42, Kevin Trapp. And I've done this purely based on the fixture. With Frankfurt having Schalke. Schalke are having a miserable season in the Bundesliga. They've only scored 13 goals and they've conceded 32. Frankfurt are fourth, they've conceded 24, which is on the higher side of the top six, but still, when you're going up against a team that's only scored 13 goals, it's more likely I'm going to get that clean sheet. The only problem is he going to face a lot of shots on target and make a lot of saves? I don't know, but I just don't think, I can't see them losing that game, so that's why I've gone with the Frankfurt strength in that. And then my backup goalkeeper, I've just picked one. My kind of logic behind it was to pick one that's cheap but plays in a mid-table team. Get your words out, Ricky. A mid-table team and starts every game. So I've gone with Marvin Schwab, who plays for FC Köln. So that is the team, guys. So if we confirm the draft there. So this is the team, the lineup that I'm going to put in. I'm going to put in Trapp. I'm going to put in Benzebaini. I'm going to put in Kimmich, obviously. I'm going to put in Marcus Thuram. And then it's a tough one between Kamada and Becker. But based on the performance and based off of the match that they've got against Schalke. I can only see Kamada getting goals and assists in that game. The only thing that could go against me with the Frankfurt Dachi Kamada pick is if the manager thinks that he doesn't need to risk him and they can beat him without him, which could happen. They've got quite a lot of midfield options that they like to switch about a little bit. Obviously, I'm going to go with Kimmich as captain against Leipzig, just because his all-round game is excellent anyway. So even if they don't win that game, he's going to get you a big score more likely than not. So that's my pick, guys, for the Bundesliga draft. Really excited about it. All these drafts coming through is super fun. Obviously, we had the update yesterday from Sorare about some of the new capped leagues and stuff that are coming in. Quite a few people in the Asian leagues apparently weren't very happy because it affects the game weeks a little bit. I'm going to do a video on that and do a bit of research into that and see what that's all about. But anyway, guys, thanks for joining me. That is my Bundesliga draft baked picks. Please let me know in the comments who you're picking. I'd really like to know. I love chatting to all of you about your teams and your rewards, and I'm very reactive in the comments. I will try my best. I usually reply to every single comment, and if you do slip through, I will catch you at some point and apologise for missing you. Please like and subscribe, guys, and I will catch you next time.